for a while. I then harvested the beehives on the morning of day 70, and then got back to work on the trading hall, and with that, all that's left is some finishing details. So I went around the building, placing in a ton of vines and leaves. I then needed to get these chests out of the way to continue the deep slate flooring surrounding the building. So I began attempting to do that, and then another lightning storm started, and lightning literally struck right in front of me. So I went to sleep, and on the morning of day 71, I added the rest of the trapdoors to the chimney, and then heard wandering trader noises again. Once I located the trader, I made the enlightening discovery that this humble traveler's trades were complete garbage and not worth my time. So I got back to moving these chests upstairs, filled in some of the area behind the trading hall with dirt, and then traded some more sticks for emeralds, and purchased some items from the wandering trader, cause why not, I guess. Anyways, then the wandering trader and the llamas mysteriously disappeared again, and with that, we've actually fully completed the trading hall. Then I destroyed this floating mass of leaves, and then crafted a honeycomb block. Epic. Then I combined these 2 protection 1 diamond leggings I bought when I was leveling up our armor earlier to get protection 2 diamond leggings, but then just put them in this chest for some reason. And now it's time for step 9.75. Destroy the island. Okay, not really. Basically, after taking a look in replay mod, I decided that the current island shape is kind of off from what I originally envisioned. So I want to shave back the front of the island a little and extend the side of the island a little bit. And I began this process by carving and then building out a line marking where the new island should end. But it looked kind of goofy, so I began carving and building a new line for the new island. I did that for the rest of the day and continued doing that on the morning of day 72. I took a look in replay mod again and then tweaked the shaping again, destroying the section of the island I wanted to remove, continued building the new outline, took a look in replay mod again, tweaked the shape of the new island again, and then continued that process until I was happy with the shape. Once I began creating an outline for the terrain and removing the old island. I did that for the rest of the day and continued doing that on the morning of day 73, and then began filling in the new outline. Then I got distracted pursuing a life as a potato farmer, and then got back to work destroying the old island and filling in the new island outline, which I did until I ran out of dirt. I then dove into the ocean and collected a ton of gravel. I then boated around in a boat to collect said gravel, and then used some honeycomb to wax some of these copper stairs. Then on the morning of day 74, I began using the coarse dirt method to turn all the gravel I collected into dirt, and I spent basically the entire rest of the day doing that before getting back to placing dirt into the island by the end of the day. I continued placing dirt into the island frame on the morning of day 75, and we're now officially 3/4 of the way through this challenge. Then I absolutely pranked this stupid villager by trapping him in this hole forever. I mean, it's his fault for falling for it. Please laugh. Anyways, I kept losing brain cells placing in dirt, and then began on the next geographical feature of the island. I want to add in a waterfall leading to a river flowing right through the island, because I haven't done that before. But seriously, a river just adds a lot to this kind of base. So I began digging out a rough outline of the shape. This will also nicely split the village we build later on into multiple parts. I continued fixing up the shape and collecting dirt that fell into the ocean, and then began adding an artificial bed to the river. I continued doing that, assaulted some wet men, and I tried to make it relatively shallow so it feels like a river. I also got attacked by more phantoms, and then began placing water into the river on the morning of day 76. I didn't really finish the riverbed though, cause I'm too broke. Once I was about 70% done with that, I moved on to destroying the old wheat field because I'm physically incapable of finishing projects that I start. I began outlining where the new wheat field will go. I want it to sit diagonally to the river like this. I then began tilling the dirt and placing in water sources to hydrate the farmland. I then found this secret villager hangout under the island. This is insubordination and I will not accept it. Honestly, I'm only about 80% confident what insubordination means though, so I'll let this slide just this once. Okay, are you serious? Anyways, I went back to tilling the artificial land and then began placing in the seeds. I continued doing that as dawn broke on day 77 and then watched as the sun burnt my enemies. I continued placing in seeds until I got carpal tunnel and then placed in a bunch of composters over the water sources. Both so our idiot villagers don't get stuck in the water somehow, but also so they'll become farmers so they won't get stuck in the river somehow. Speaking of that, I tried and failed to retrieve my toolsmith villager from the depths of this ocean. I mean, it's a river, but that's clearly an ocean to villagers. Those 2 blocks you need to swim are just completely insurmountable. I get it, bro. Anyways, we still have some work to do on our goal of getting 100 villagers. Basically, we just need more beds so the villagers on our island will continue to produce more product. But getting 100 beds through string from our mob farm would take too long. I thought about trying to get sheep by leaving and coming back to the island over and over, but apparently that would take a few attempts most likely. So we need another strategy. Even if that estimate isn't accurate though, apparently there's such a thing as a shepherd villager, and they literally trade wool and beds. So we're gonna do that. You learn something new about Minecraft every day, I guess, even when it's literally your job. So I crafted a loom using some string we got from the mob farm earlier, and after trying to get a shepherd villager in a boat, I eventually managed to succeed. And this is actually the only first tier trade that is worth anything to us, because it's the only one that has an option other than trading wool, which we don't have any easy way of getting. So after realizing we were completely broke still, I traded with a local farmer and then used the profit to lock in the shepherd's trade. I was still broke though, so I began bridging out out from the island to farm some jungle trees, before being rudely interrupted by more phantoms and drowned. Again. But then I realized I was broke again. So that's like 3 times today I was reminded of that. So that's fun. But yeah, I didn't have any bone meal, so I headed up to the mob farm to get some more bones. I smacked mobs for the rest of the day, and then finally achieved the freediving world record. At the cost of breaking all the bones in my body, of course. Then on the precipice of day 78, don't look up the definition of that word, I definitely used it correctly in that sentence, I heard a strange noise coming from the basement. Well, other than the sound of our prisoners' cries for help, of course. It was a zombie villager. These guys are next, too. Natural selection, I guess. It's their fault for being so stupid. Anyways, I bone milled a giant jungle tree and got to work mining the whole thing down. Then I scammed our local fletching villagers again and used the profits to begin leveling up our shepherd villager. It wasn't enough to get the bed trades though, so I demolished another jungle tree and then returned to a life of crime, scamming fletching villagers for more emeralds before returning to leveling up our shepherd, only to realize that he didn't have a bed trade, which should appear once he's a journeyman. So I forced a different villager to work a job he hates in order to benefit me, and began leveling him up. I then used the wool I got from leveling him up to make some beds. I then repeated the same process, demolishing jungle trees and scamming fletchers so I could buy a poop ton of beds and place them down, and continued that process for the rest of the day and on the morning of day 79, and managed to place down a slightly absurd amount of beds. I then cured the zombie villager, yeah, I definitely cured him, and then attempted to save these 2 poor souls from their own stupidity, but it was too hard so I gave up. I then began attempting to save these other villagers from their brainlessness, and it kinda worked, but I also gave up, so. Yeah. I then made a new diamond pickaxe as a backup and headed back into the mines to try and mine for dirt, because I don't think I can physically or mentally or emotionally handle farming dirt with the coarse dirt method for a singular additional second. So I began mining and pretty quickly ran into this massive vein of dirt that I mined out for the rest of the day. And on the morning of day 80, yeah, maybe I should have just been doing this from the start, honestly. Anyways, I headed back to my home country with an immense quantity of dirt wealth and began work on changing the shape of this cliff thing a bit. I mostly just wanted to extend it more to this side of the island. I then quit my life as a landscaper to become a lumberjack for the rest of the day, and then built a prison around our villagers while they slept. Then this large man spawned on the island, and I felt slightly intimidated, so I did the only reasonable thing and immediately exterminated him. No, but seriously, iron golems can end this hardcore world in like 1 hit, and all we have to do to anger them is left click a villager on accident. So this is the easiest way to deal with that problem. Or so I thought, but another iron golem basically immediately spawned, so this time I attempted to get him into a boat, but apparently that doesn't work on iron golems. So I just built a dirt box around him. Sorry, bro. I then began filling in the top of the cliff with dirt, and I managed to get most of it done before running out of dirt again. Bro. Anyways, then I moved all of the villagers' beds out of their prison to make way for their food supply. Then I hit the mines again to collect a ton of cobblestone to smelt into stone for the rest of the cliff thing. I did that for the rest of day 81 and then began smelting it all on the morning of day 82. Then I went back to mining for copper and more dirt, and I managed to find some and head back up to the surface. I then finally completed the top of the cliff thing, so we can get to work on the windmill thing I want to build here. I then gathered our stone profits and then got attacked by this wet fork man as I lit up our tree farm thing, but I sadly did not acquire a trident. I acquired more resources for the windmill mansion, but we were out of deep slate, so I headed into the mines again and began mining out a giant room at deep slate level. On the morning of day 83, I did that for like half of the day and managed to get a pretty decent amount of deep slate. I returned to our incomplete cliff and unloaded the profits we obtained underground. I then increased the security of our villager prison and then dove into the depths to mine up some copper from around our island. I swam around collecting a bunch of copper for the rest of the day, and on the morning of day 84, then finally got back to work chopping down jungle trees. I then bamboozled some more fletchers so I could get some more tools, but mostly so I could get more beds. But the shepherd was even more broke than I was somehow, so I got him a new workstation to get his bread up. I then harvested a variety of trees and leaves for building materials for the rest of the day, and I slept at the end of the day to hopefully get rid of phantom spawns. On the morning of day 85, I pulverized more trees into cubic meters of sawdust. I began by materializing the outline whilst tweaking the size and shaping along the way. I'm starting with the house part of this half windmill, half residential building. So I built up some dark oak pillars, stripped the logs, and then began deliberating on the size and placement of the windmill's base. And my deliberation had concluded, so I began building up the windmill's base with stone. I then took a look in replay mod, and then began work on adding in a dark oak border to introduce some contrast to the build. I then decided on the placement of the pillars for the actual windmill building, and then began extending said pillars skyward, and then began placing in the walls and adding in more pillars with jungle wood and jungle logs on the morning of day 86. I then assembled some dark oak fences, and then went scuba diving to collect more aggregate, which I then used along with some white dye I crafted with bone meal to craft some concrete powder. I then turned said concrete into concrete using the power of hydration and excavation. I then began on actually adding the actual windmill sails, starting with adding in the wooden frames of the sails with dark oak fences. After deliberating on the sizing and shaping of the wooden outlines, I decided on a shape I liked and replicated it for the other 3 directions. I then began placing in the actual sails with concrete. How would this windmill function with literal cubic meters of concrete instead of cloth attached to the sails? Stop asking questions. Anyways, I matched the shape of the wooden frame and made sure to layer it to give the sail a 3D effect, so it looks like there's actually wind blowing into them. I then began adding in some trapdoors and stairs along the wooden frame to make it look better. Then on the morning of day 87, another iron golem spawned, and my masculinity once again felt threatened, so I trapped him in a box forever. Keep your friends close and your enemies in a cobblestone box and leave them to starve, right? I then began collecting dark oak wood so I could continue working on the windmill, and then decided to trap my shepherd villagers in a cobblestone box as well to decrease morale. I released the villager that didn't trade beds, but then the other villager escaped to follow his dreams or something. But unless this villager's dream is to trade me an infinite number of beds forever, they're never coming true, so I trapped him again. I then got back to work adding in the sails and the details to the sails with trapdoors and stairs. And I did a few too many water bucket clutches along the way. It's literally day 87, what is wrong with me? I continued working on that for a while, and also this is mildly terrifying to do at night because if a phantom spawns right now and knocks me off here, the last 87 days might have been for nothing. Anyways, I then realized that I had built one of the sail frames wrong, so I broke it down and rebuilt it. I continued working on the windmill sails, then bought an absurd quantity of beds from our shepherd and placed them down, and then escorted this trespasser off of my property on the morning of day 88, and then continued adding in details to the windmill sails and managed to basically complete it, and it looks pretty good, I think. I might want to make it a bit bigger at some point, but we'll see. So I began constructing the walls for the house with jungle wood, but I pretty quickly ran out of construction materials, so I chopped down another jungle tree and then got back to work placing in the walls. Once I was done with that, I began adding in the roof, starting with a deep slate and copper border, and then filling in the frame with jungle wood. I did that for the rest of the day and managed to complete the roof by the end of the day. Then on the morning of day 89, I began trying to add a window to the front of the house for some detail. I eventually landed on something I was happy with and then replaced the floor of the house with dark oak slabs and added in some copper doors. Then a thunderstorm started and I got scared, so I went to sleep. But seriously, why have so many thunderstorms started during this challenge? Anyways, on the morning of day 90, we only had 10 days left in this challenge. So after breaking my ankles, I added in the walls to the windmill building with jungle planks. I then stripped the dark oak log pillars of the windmill building and finished putting in the dark oak floor around the windmill building. I then built up a roof for the windmill with deep slate and then extended the front wall up to connect to the roof, and then added an entrance and a floor to the inside of the building. And with that, we're almost fully done with the windmill part of this building. So I began trying to add more detail to the front of the house part, and I just settled on this dark oak support beam, which I had to use dark oak planks instead of logs for part of because I'm broke. Anyways, then I finally began on actually connecting these two buildings, starting with building this connecting roof. I worked on that for the rest of the day and continued working on that and completed it on the morning of day 91. I didn't have enough materials to build the walls though, so I committed a healthy dose of deforestation and then built the walls. And it's time to fully complete step 9 by building the rest of the cliff. And then maybe one day we'll fill in the back of the island too, but who knows. But anyways, I began placing dirt into the island along the cliff side, starting at the top, bottom, and sides, and moving downwards, upwards, eastwards, westwards, skywards, and onwards. I also began destroying the parts of the island that were going to be covered up to collect more dirt. Fought another drowned and didn't get a trident, and continued filling in the cliffside, transitioning to using stone, andesite, and gravel as I got to the section above the river, which is where I want to put in a waterfall. I managed to mostly complete the cliffside by the end of the day, and then began filling in the bottom of the river with the rest of the dirt I had on the morning of day 92. I then fully completed filling in the cliffside, and then began adding in a pond that will lead to the river in front of the windmill house. I started by breaking out a pond shape, leading to where I wanted the waterfall to begin, and then added in the floor of the pond with dirt, added in some more stone to the cliffside at the beginning of the waterfall, and then began adding in the water. Some of the water seemed unwilling to obey the laws of physics, so I began correcting its existence. And with that, we're basically done with the waterfall, and also basically done with this entire cliff area. So it's now finally time for step 10.75, the rest of the base. And we only have like 5 days to do this because we still need to explore trial chambers to collect the rest of the 1.21 blocks and items, which I'm having doubts is even possible at this point, but basically we need to speedrun this. So I began collecting building materials from around our base, then chopped down this jungle tree, and then put some of the building materials in this chest. And I want to start by adding a couple of docks to the island, both because I think it'll look cool and because they're insanely easy to build and will help to make our island look more prosperous than it actually is. So I built out this 3-block wide H shape supported by jungle logs with jungle planks, before deciding I didn't like it and beginning to destruct some some of it. I then sniped this trespasser and then completed the dock on the morning of day 93. I then planted some saplings because we're gonna need a lot more wood to build the rest of the base. I then placed a 2x2 jungle tree, which will also hopefully make the island look a lot cooler, but I'm just placing the saplings because I'm out of bone meal. I also wasted some time terraforming this area behind the villager trading hall some more, placed in another 2x2 jungle tree, chopped down another giant jungle tree, chopped down a dark oak tree, and then the giant jungle tree I had placed had already grown, which is cool. I then began work on the first actual house for our island's residents. I began by placing in some dark oak pillars and jungle pillars, added in some jungle plank walls, and I can't afford glass, so the windows are essentially just going to be missing parts of the wall. Anyways, I then added in a deep slate roof and used some stairs and slabs to make the windows and ceiling of the house look marginally better. I then added in a dark oak door and then began pathing in a path that goes all the way through our base. Then on the morning of day 94, I absolutely materialized the bridge going over the river, properly connecting the two major halves of our base. I then continued the path some, but this iron golem was in the way, so I politely escorted him and his friend off the island. I lost the footage though, but that's definitely what happened. I then demolished their unoccupied prisons to make way for the industrial expansion of our island civilization. I also destroyed our villager prison to make way for more residential neighborhoods, apartment complexes, and shopping centers. I then began trying to remind all of these villagers that they aren't fish, but that's apparently more difficult than you'd think, so I did that until nightfall and still wasn't able to get all of the villagers out of the river. Bro. Anyways, I went back to pathing in the path around the trading hall and river, and then constructed the second dock for the island, again with jungle planks, and connected it up to the rest of the path. I also placed down a few individual jungle saplings. I then destroyed and relocated all of the villagers' beds to make way for everything I want to build in this area. And I then began constructing the next house for the island, starting with jungle logs for the pillars, jungle wood for the walls, and then began on the outline of the roof with copper. I continued the outline of the roof on the morning of day 95, and then added in the floor and the entrance. I then had just enough copper to cheap out and use jungle planks to complete the roof. I then filled in the roof with jungle stairs, and then added in some windows to this humble abode. I then extended the path out to our new encampment. That word barely works in that sentence, so do me a favor and don't look that up ever even a single time for the rest of time. I then quickly chopped down a jungle tree, destroyed our extremely sophisticated vine farm, and then began deciding where the next habitation will reside. I decided it should go right here, so I began making room for our new real estate endeavor. I then began speedrunning the fastest time to build the and oh yeah, it's day 100. Cool. Unfortunately, we no longer have time to get the rest of the blocks and items. So yeah, maybe I was being a bit too ambitious with that goal. But we can still get some more of the copper blocks with the copper bulb we got. So after checking where I was in replay mod, I began mining to the ocean. Once I
Saved?
I'm gonna wait for him to start streaming. Da da da. Also, this is my skin. That guy's on bedrock. Or he should even go for Java. Yo, what the fuck? Lagging. Stacking up on food, bro. No discrimination. We don't talk about that. I'll play Bender's MC even though I lost my base. It was such a good base too. Iron. no base. Wait, I might have to make a new one. Two. No shot. I lost everything, but that doesn't matter. No. want to see what he's doing. Oh shoot. I don't know if this is his base. I gotta hide. The only way I can hide my name tag is by crouching. It's like a gambling place. Yo, that got me nowhere. Mason left. Let's go, dude. Weave. sign on water. It's a skeleton jockey. Spider jockey. Spider jockey. I'm gonna break the wood. I want an elytra. I wonder how high up I am. Dog, there's not even any water here. Oh, it shows. Why does it show the dropped frames? Ah. So now it fits my screen and the YouTube's. I'm actually almost on the top.
Yeah, yeah, everything's still cool. Being me, I can't lose. I know you getting confused. They like how you do it so smooth. Gotta stay in tune. With your love, I can't lose. Say 9, say 10, make sure you gon' lose. I can see you wanna vibe with me. Just say you wanna vibe with me. Feeling like I won a lottery. You getting a lot of me. Probably why you calling me. Is that why you calling me? Feeling like I won a lottery. You getting a lot of me. I can see you wanna vibe with me. Just say you wanna vibe with me. Feeling like I won a lottery. You getting a lot of me. Probably why you calling me. Is that why you calling me? Feeling like I won a lottery. You getting a lot of me. Mixing different shades up, I look like the fall. Trap money, real money, yeah, I want it all. I just take my best feelings, put it in a song. I know I was right, I know you was wrong. Yeah, I got a vision, let it capture in 4K. We forever young, you won't see me in no way. I'ma do what I want right now, I can't wait till it's too late. Everywhere up in the world right now, 10 bands in a suitcase. Cool, being me, I can't lose. I know you getting confused, they like how you do it so smooth. Gotta stay in tune, with your love I can't lose. Say 9, say 10, make sure you gon' lose, yeah. I can see you wanna vibe with me, just say you wanna vibe with me. Feeling like I won the lottery, you getting a lot of me. Probably why you calling me, is that why you calling me? Feeling like I won the lottery, you getting a lot of me. I can see you wanna vibe with me, just say you wanna vibe with me. Feeling like I won the lottery, you getting a lot of me. Probably why you calling me, is that why you calling me? Feeling like I won the lottery, you getting a lot of me.
She said she from the island, and I'm just trying to find her. You are my desire, you're all that I require. She said she's from the islands, and I'm just trying to find her. You are my desire, you're all that I require. Baby girl, put me right to sleep. Our kiss was like one too many drinks. I'm still trying to remember, don't even know her name. She left me in December, but I still feel the pain. I thought that it was love, the way that you whine on me. I forgot one thing. She said she from the island, and I'm just trying to find
Yo.
her. Girl, you are my desire, you're all that I require. She said she's from the islands, and I'm just trying to find her. Girl, you are my desire, you're all that I require. Girl, I've been praying I don't lose you. Maybe we could link up like we used to. Is this love at first sight? If I woke up blind, I said you every time. My favorite is you say you like. Baby, if it's wrong, I don't wanna be right. Your hips don't lie, they be giving me the signs. Never knew you'd be leaving me behind. Pack your bags in the middle of the night. I thought that it was love, the way that you whine on me. I forgot one thing. She said she from the islands, and I'm just trying to find her. She's all that I desire, all that I require. She said she's from the islands, and I'm just trying to find her. Girl, you are my desire, you're all that I require. Just send the ruler. She said she from the islands, and I'm just trying to find her. She's all that I desire, all that I require.
Yo. Oh my god. Shit. that a wooden mansion? I think that is. So no way to get up there. Oh no, this is just some place. For sale, 1.5 mil. Unless it comes with some totems, I'm not buying it.
This is it, the night when everything changes. Because tonight, you're going to try Domino's new Parmesan stuffed crust pizza. And once you've experienced that buttery flavored handmade pan dough, stuffed to perfection with melted cheese made with 100% real mozzarella, topped with our signature garlic seasoning, and sprinkled with real Parmesan, then there is no going back. Domino's first ever Parmesan stuffed crust pizza. Order now at Domino's.com or in the Domino's app.
As you see the world, it is red. Now what's the word, Captain? I think I caught you leaking. There are 9 more lands that this hell's picking. No, be tapping, bitch, I call it ripping, ripping. I feel lucky I'm not you. Every time I do the it's cold and hard. Haven't felt so many some days, bitch. Where do I start? Start from the top and the next. I swear I already got it. What's the word? Yeah.
No, let me out. What do you mean? I'm in the air. Oh, shoot. That was so stupid. Yeah, I can nuance it. No, I was in the perfect area. Fuck.
Your pets are family and they deserve the best. At Fort Mill Animal Hospital, we provide high-quality care with a personal touch. From checkups to urgent care, our team keeps your furry friends happy and healthy. We are now welcoming new clients, so schedule your pet's visit today. Call 803-547-2014 or book online at fortmillvet.com. Fort Mill Animal Hospital, where family pets get family care.
rising within me. I feel as though there's something violent boiling up from within. Let go. Let go of everything. Let go.
want to be on top. I'm not stressed that you've never heard of me. You'll be listening non-stop. I'm on the highway. I've been having migraines. I've been waiting for a while, having my way. Just a boy acting like a goof. I got 55 voices saying I gotta do what they all say. Got me looking sideways. I don't wanna write a song about a heartbreak. Just a boy acting like a fool. Got 100 things I'd rather do. When they try controlling me, the thoughts I fight, they can get a little frightening. But I don't mind if it means I get to be free. I speak my mind when I wanna be up all night. I can tell they're getting sick of me, but I don't mind if it means I get to be me. I don't care what you think of me, I just want to be on top. I'm not stressed that you've never heard of me. You'll be listening non-stop. I'm off the highway. I've been having migraines. I've been waiting for a while, having my way. Just a boy acting like a fool. I got 55 voices saying I gotta do what they all say. Got me looking sideways. I don't wanna write a song about a heartbreak. Just a boy acting like a fool. Got 100 things I'd rather do. I don't care what you think of me, I just want to be on top. I'm not stressed that you've never heard of me. You'll be listening non-stop. Hop off the highway. I've been having migraines. I've been waiting for a while, having my way. Just a boy acting like a goof. I got 55 voices saying I gotta do what they all say. Got me looking sideways. I don't wanna write a song about a heartbreak. Just a boy acting like a fool. Got 100 things I'd rather do.
What's happening, y'all? It's Anthony Edwards. I listen to hip-hop music all day. I use the Bose QC Ultra headphones right around like leading up to the game. And just the quality of the headphones, and you feel like you was there when they was recording songs. It gets me in a playing vibe, good spirit. They block out all the noise. You can't hear anything but the music. Check out Bose.com for more.
Your pets are family and they deserve the best. At Fort Mill Animal Hospital, we provide high-quality care with a personal touch. From checkups to urgent care, our team keeps your furry friends happy and healthy. We are now welcoming new clients, so schedule your pet's visit today. Call 803-547-2014 or book online at fortmillvet.com. Fort Mill Animal Hospital, where family pets get family care.
Greetings, loved ones. Let's take a journey.
I know a place where the grass is really greener. Warm, wet and wild. There must be something in the water. Sipping gin and juice, laying underneath the palm trees. And the birds break their necks, trying to creep a little sneak peek.
What?
You could travel the world, but nothing comes close to the Golden Coast. Once you party with us, you'll be falling in love. California girls were unforgettable. Daisy Dukes, bikinis on top. Sun-kissed skin so hot, will melt your popsicle. California girls were undeniable. Fine, fresh beers, we got it on lock. West Coast represent, now put your hands up. Sex on the beach, we don't mind standing on stilettos. We freak in the Jeep, Snoop Doggy Dogg on the stereo. You could travel the world, but nothing comes close to the Golden Coast. Once you party with us, you'll be falling in love. California girls were unforgettable. Daisy Dukes, bikinis on top. Sun-kissed skin so hot, will melt your popsicle. California girls were undeniable. Fine, fresh beers, we got it on lock. West Coast represent, now put your hands up.
Tone, tan, fit and ready. Turn it up, cause it's getting heavy. Wild, wild, West Coast. These are the girls I love the most. I mean the ones, I mean like she's the one. Kiss her, touch her, squeeze her buns. The girl's afraid she drive a Jeep and live on the beach. I'm okay, I won't play, I love the bay, just like I love LA, Venice Beach, and Palm Springs. Summertime is homeboys banging out, all that ass hanging out. Bikinis, zucchinis, martinis, no weenies, just the king and the queenie. Katie, my lady, look at here, baby. I'm all up on you, cause you representing California.
Girls were unforgettable. Daisy Dukes, bikinis on top. Sun-kissed skin so hot, will
just can't refuse. She wanna ride me like a cruise, and I'm not trying to lose. Then you're left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're a sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'd be left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower.
Every time I'm leaving on you, you don't make it easy, no. Wish I could be there for you. Give me a reason to. Oh, every time I'm walking out, I can hear you telling me to turn around. Fighting for my trust and you won't back down. Even if we gotta risk it all right now. I know you're scared of the unknown. You don't wanna be alone. I know I always come and go, but it's out of my control. And you'll be left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. I think your love would be too much, or you'll be left in the dust, unless I stuck by you. You're the sunflower. You're the sunflower.
Yes.
Freaking vigilante show? There's no way you've already seen the first 2 episodes. Yes, I did. Dude, I bet you that's fucking Pop Sparkle chick is like your favorite person now. Cause like she's such a like K-pop.
Hi, let's go.
Yo, what's good, Ace? Welcome back, G. Come and join. Come and get in here.
My trees grew.
Already in here. W Ace.
Let's go.
Alright, have you been whitelisted yet, Brave Daniel? No, you haven't. I got you. My trees grew! Beautiful! You have been added to the whitelist, Brave Daniel. Come and join, homie. If you want a welcome gift, just let me know, or when you spawn in and come to me and I will give you one.
I think he's live
For
on
what's
YouTube
goes
as
B-Day,
well.
I got so many TikTok edits. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dang. Breaking King! What's good, Bacon guys? Can you check my DMs real quick? It's funny. Yes, I will.
If no one else does.
Hold on, Ashley. 1 second. I got you. More veiny all diamonds. Oh my god. This is big veiny
So
all.
this is Flameon's
W vein
Minecraft
chat. Oh my god. This can't be real. Oh my god, he's vain. He's veiny on diamonds. That was such a big vein. Oh my god. Tub veiny on diamonds, dude. Oh my lord. W's, dude. Chat, I have the mining strat down, boys. No kappa, the booty clapper. Interesting, stinky redstone. What do you mean, Ashy? What do you mean? What do you mean? What? What? I'm joining in a sec. Okay, sounds good, Brave. Yeah, what the fuck is that shadow? What are you talking about, Lil Parkar? What shadow?
Holy stutter.
There is no shadow. There's no shadow. You're making things up. You're making things up. There is no shadow. What are you talking about? Actually, enough of these conspiracies. Stop it. How close am I to lava? Oh, pretty close. Party, you seeing things for real, JTs. I am here. What's good, Plunger? Welcome, me amigo. Alright, let's go back this way. Cool. I finished playing Wii Sports. How'd you do, dude?
Ooh, I think that's.
I lost 500 elo tennis. Fucking A, dude. Do not test my seeing abilities. I think your seeing is flawed, Ashy Elbows. Oh my god. Yes, iron. Stop it! I just want it! No, stop it. Okay. Why is there so much lava, chat? Why, though? Can you just explain
They're
it to me?
right at this guy's base.
Why am I getting in these stupid pockets of lava, chat? Genuinely, I'm gonna start tweaking out.
God, deep sleep.
Like, ugh, why? Ugh. Get me out of here. The Brave Daniel, yo, what's good, homie? Welcome. I'm kind of lost now. Wait, no, I'm not. I know how to get back. I know how to get back.
If anybody wants to go check him out, go on Twitch. FlameZN.
There we go. Oh my god, come on. Pardia, yo, Gavin. I'm not regular books. Gabin. Yeah, did you pin the chat? Yes, it's pinned. Or Pardia pinned it. I know that I pinned one of them and it might have went away after 20 minutes. Because pins, they'll go away after 20 minutes if you don't change or choose to have it not pinned. Let me, check what you sent me, Ashy.
Yo, whose base is this?
I'll bring it over. Carl. Oh, okay. By the way, ran out of cocoa. So I substituted chocolate laxative for half. Good luck. Happy birthday. What the freak is this, Ashy? Isn't that my B.A. something that in the wedding cake is too? Yeah, that's so weird. Interesting nickname.
Is this?
But W. Carl, though. And thank you for the follow as well. More. Welcome. Yeah, I thought so. No, my pickaxe. And thank you for the follow as well. It's Jaja. No. Can I have some food? Brave Daniel, come to me. I have your welcome gift. Actually, I'll TP to you, Brave.
No, he's in a TP.
Out of here.
No.
Chat, fun fact, Pardia hates Chick-fil-A. Like, hates it. He cannot stand it. Oh my god, more Vania diamonds, chat. Excuse me. Vania. W. Oh my god, W. It's so Vania. W vein, chat. W vein, W vein, W vein. Okay, sweet. Duke, just drop your tag in chat and we'll whitelist you and you can come and join the server. Just with the IP address. Is there an invisible spider? What is this, chat? What is this? Invisible spider? I'm sorry, what? Alright, I'm coming, Brave Daniel. How do you have diamonds? How do you have diamonds? What are you doing? Are you taking diamonds from someone's chest? What?
Wait, where'd he go?
What are you doing?
Where did that guy go?
Are you stealing from? I'm looking around. You just got diamonds. There's diamonds in your inventory. Brave, if I search your inventory right now, If I go to my Aternos software and search your inventory right now, you will have diamonds in them. No? No?
Yo, where
If I
is
search
this
Brave
kid?
Daniel's inventory right now. Why did it say that you had diamonds? Oh, you picked them up from his chest. Yeah, I caught you red-handed, Brave Daniel. You were taking from his chest. Why were you doing that?
Bro said I'll be good.
Jay, drop your tag in chat. We can whitelist you. No, you should be good, Duke. We'll give you a starter package and you can come and join. Brave Daniel, do not steal from anyone's base. Do not grief anyone's base. Do not kill anyone unless it's a PvP
boy.
or self-defense. I suggest you stick with your friend, Zach, because he's a really good dude. So far. Get out of this person's house, too. And do not take her stuff.
Where's my stuff? I swear to God, my stuff.
Wait,
was right
JT's,
here.
I didn't see it. Gav, you like my skin? I love it! It's me! That's my, dude, that's my nose. Wait, that's my nose? That's my eyebrows? That's my eyes? Hold on, wait. W.
Dude,
Gav, Silverwolf
somebody stole my
is my friend
stuff.
and he got his diamond stolen? How? Silverwolf, where is your base? But I love it, JT's.
Oh.
Alright, I'll help you. Where is your base? Here? Where is this? I have them underground, then there's no way that they got stolen, dude. Where are you? Okay, you're over here. Never mind, I found my stuff. Awesome, Ace. He just joined and they got stolen. How did he have diamonds and he just joined? Okay, Silverwolf, where is your chest? I'm able to run a command to check who took from your chest. Alright, Duke, I'm gonna whitelist you right now. I got you. Whitelist. Add. There you go. Duke, you're more than welcome to come and play. You are whitelisted. Zach is an evil, convincing, manipulative dictator. I'm calling it. Okay, cockroach. Great assumption. Possibly. Maybe. Of course, Duke. And then, not war, I got you. Here is your whitelist. And JJ, I got you as well. Hold on. I'm sorry. We're trying to figure out this mystery of who stole who. JJ, that player tag doesn't show up. Are you Bedrock? It looks, or sorry, not JJ. I mean, U.S. Army that does not show up. Do you have a different name, or is that name right? JJ, let me try whitelisting you. Whitelist. Add. Whitelist. Add. JJ. That one doesn't work either. Are you Bedrock? That doesn't work either. What's going on? Okay, I'm gonna turn off whitelisting. If you guys can try to join, I'm gonna turn off whitelisting real quick. Turning it off in 3, 2,
Alright, that's gonna be stream for
1,
today.
and you guys can come and join.
See you in the next one.